can we just pause and have a really quick chit chat for just a moment? So it's Sunday, and you guys know I usually do a Sunday dessert. And I'm usually off on Sundays. When I say off, like I don't have to cook. My mom cooks. She kind of holds down the weekend, so I have a nice little break and whatnot. Well, guess what? I'm cooking today, and I can't help but feel a little bit sideways about it. And the reason being is the rest of these folks in this house have messed it up for me. Mom said, I ain't cooking no more on Sundays. I'm not cooking anymore. I'm just going to cook for myself. Why, you say? Because these picky eaters in the house can't just sit down at the table, say their grace, and eat the food. Whatever's been prepared, they just can't do it. They got 51 million questions. What is it? Facial expressions, all of this. So I'm gonna have to ride this one out for a minute. I'm pretty sure mom will come back at some point on Sundays and help a girl out. But today just ain't the day. So I'm gonna have to go ahead in here and fix this lasagna up. I'm about to show you guys right now dinner for today that's jump starting the week of me cooking. Ugh. Just a real quick sigh because I'm a little bit sad because y'all mama was coming in clutch. When I say clutch, clutch. So today we're sprucing up our lasagna sauce by adding some extra flavor. And that extra flavor is going to come from onions and bell peppers. So I have a half of an onion that I have chopped up finely. And then I have some frozen bell peppers, all colors, that was in the freezer. So I took about the same amount and added it to a skillet full of butter. So now all I'm doing is seasoning the vegetables with just a little pinch of salt and a little black pepper. You guys, I tell you all the time, season as you go. So at the end, the flavor should come together well and you won't have to add much. So now I'm adding my ground beef after my veggies have cooked probably about 2 to 3 minutes until those onions have really begun to become translucent. Now I have here about 3 pounds of ground beef, and I'm just breaking it up here, and then I'm gonna go in prematurely with the salt and add 2 teaspoons. Now I'm going to go to my favorite, my Italian spaghetti seasoning. You guys, I have this link down below. It is the bomb. I mean, literally, if you want to not add any additional seasoning such as onions and bell peppers, if you just add this, it will take your spaghetti sauce up a notch, seriously. So definitely check the link down below for Amazon so that you can try this out. It also is sold locally here in Sam's Club. So if you have a Sam's, you can check there as well. So now we're really just combining everything. We want to make sure that our beef is completely brown at this point. I'm not going to add any additional seasoning, salt, to this, just some black pepper and some garlic. So this is the time that you want to really try your best to season the meat to the point where you like it. You will have another opportunity later, but this is definitely the point where you try to season it very, very well. And this will depend on how much ground beef or ground turkey you have in the skillet. And I also want to mention, you can mix this up. You can do ground turkey and some ground pork. I do like to do that, like ground Italian sausages, and mix it up with like hot Italian sausages, and it really comes out great as well. But I'm using what I have. So while the ground beef is browning up and completely cooking through, I'm going to go ahead and start on my cheese mixture. So here I just have some ricotta cheese that I'm putting into the bowl. You can use whole milk ricotta or part skim ricotta. I tend to go for whole everything if I have that option. To me, the flavor is just better when you go that way. But definitely do what it is that you like to do here. So I have added just an egg. I've added a cup of mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and that is part skim because I could not find the whole. And then I have some Kobe Jack that I also added about a cup of cheese to it. And then I'm just adding some dried parsley. I'm eyeballing it. You can add as much as you want or as little as you want. And really, those are the only 3 cheeses that I'm using. And I'm just going to mix this up until it's well combined. And the consistency is basically you're looking for the egg to be distributed very well through the cheese. Because if not, when it cooks, you'll have scrambled eggs. So make sure you just combine it well enough that you don't see any yolk or any of the white part or the translucent part of the egg sitting anywhere. And that's what you're going for. So after that, you just sit it to the side, and as soon as your meat is done, you just want to drain any excess fat off of it. And I just simply do this over the kitchen sink. And I know that might be controversial, guys, but if you have another little container that you like to put your meat fat in, because it does solidify, and I know it's probably bad for the drains, but that's what I did. You have that option just to drain it off somewhere else. But you just want to drain your meat and then put it back into the skillet. And we're going to take that skillet back to the stove and get it ready to make the sauce. So for my sauces, you guys have heard me say this 50 million times. Marinara sauce, a good jar. I typically try to go and keep it on hand from Aldi, but I just had to go out and get another one from the grocery store, and that was the Bertolli. But the Aldi has the best marinara sauce, definitely. But always put at least half of a jar or a full jar in your spaghetti sauce. Seriously, guys, change your world. So I have a large jar of the Classico, which is another favorite of mine, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of sugar and some tomato paste. The tomato paste is to help thicken the mixture up so that it really will coat your noodle, and this could be your spaghetti noodle, your lasagna noodle, whatever. Just add a little bit, about a tablespoon or so of the tomato paste, and it really helps to thicken up the sauce, especially when you're using jar. So just let that cook and simmer and let it come together. Now I'm doing the ready-made lasagna noodles today, guys. They look just like this. If you haven't seen them before, they are clutch because I don't have to boil any noodles and handle any hot noodles. I do like the regular noodles, but when time is of the essence, Lord have mercy, I'm going for the ready-made. So now we're just going to layer our lasagna. You want to start with a layer of your meat sauce, or if you would prefer to reserve some of your spaghetti sauce that's out of the jar that does not have the meat in it, you can definitely do this on the bottom. This is just so that your noodles have something to stick to other than the bottom of the casserole dish. So now we're just layering, guys. We're going to do meat, cheese, and noodle in that order. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Sorry. So essentially, we're just going to speed through this. And guys, I just want you to know, if you have not subscribed to the channel, definitely go ahead and help a girl out and hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload new videos. And I would love for you to follow me over on Instagram at Shay's Country Kitchen. And definitely give this a thumbs up and leave a comment if you guys are really enjoying these What's for Dinners, and I will definitely continue to put content out like this. So back to this lasagna, we've just added the cheese. Now we're going to hit it with our last layer of lasagna noodles, and guys, you get plenty in this pack, so don't even worry about having to buy, multiple packages unless you just want to keep some on hand, because I definitely had another layer and a half of noodles that I could have used that was left in this pack. Now the last thing to do is you want to put the rest of the cheese that you have reserved. So those were, my shredded cheese came in a 2 cup. So this is basically 1 cup of mozzarella and 1 cup of the Colby Jack that I'm just sprinkling on the top. And I'm also going through and sprinkling a little bit more dried parsley just for decoration. We're going to bake this off at 360 degrees for about 30 minutes or until everything is completely cooked through. And guys, the lasagna is done. After that 30 minutes, literally, this was really, really quick. Now I decided to make some garlic bread. Now this is the fresh kind from Kroger, but you can definitely get the kind that is in the freezer section, like the Texas toast that's already cut up. And I actually would recommend this. I followed the directions on this bread and I did not like it. We ended up throwing it away. So definitely just go for the frozen stuff. But this is what your lasagna is going to look like after you have allowed it to cook and after you have allowed it to sit for a little while. So the lasagna actually carried us for quite a few days. I didn't have to cook again until Wednesday. And I decided just to do some baked chicken with a little spin on it. So here I have a whole chicken, a whole fryer that my mom was so nice enough to cut up for me. And I'm literally just seasoning this. You know how I like my salt, pepper, and garlic. But we're going to add a few additional seasonings to this just to kind of take it up a notch, make it very flavorful, and also make it a little different than what I usually cook when it comes to baked chicken. So again, salt, garlic powder, or granulated garlic, whichever you have, some pepper. I'm going to use some paprika, and I'm also going to use some turmeric. That is just literally a mild flavor. It's really good. And just a tip, guys, if you're using turmeric, also make sure that you use it in combination with black pepper, because that's how you get the benefits, the anti-inflammatory benefits of turmeric when you're cooking with it. Now I'm drizzling just a little bit of olive oil on this, and this is really just to help spread the seasonings to all of the chicken. It's not needed in any other way here other than just to help coat the chicken so that those seasonings stick to the skin and stick to everything that is there. Now I have about a whole onion here. This is extra flavor, guys, extra flavor. So this is optional. If you do not want the onions, because we did not eat the onions, you do not have to do this. Again, we're just adding flavor. Layering those onions on the bottom so the chicken has something to rest on. And then we're going to just put all the parts of the chicken into the pan here. This is just a baking pan. I think it's my 13 by 9 pan. And we're going to cover it and we're going to bake it for 360 degrees for about an hour. After that, it is done. And guys, I apologize. I forgot to get this picture before we dug in. This is what remains of the chicken dish. It was a hit. The kids loved it. Like I'm telling you, we hit it. So at least you know it was a success because it was eaten. So the next day, we obviously needed additional chicken or some other type of protein, since you saw what we ate. We ate it all just about. And it was, I had to cook what I had in my freezer. So that left me with chicken legs. And essentially, you guys, I just made chicken leg versions of buffalo wings or honey barbecue wings. So you guys have seen the dust or the seasoning packets that I use when I make my wings. And that's what I used for these chicken legs. I essentially just added some salt and added some of the seasoning. I'll insert a picture of the seasoning that I use to a Ziploc bag. And I just made sure that I coated the chicken, and then I stuck it in my air fryer and cooked it for about 22 minutes. Halfway through, I just essentially flipped it over and let it cook the remainder time of that 11 minutes. And then once it was done, I took additional seasoning and just sprinkled it on the outside. So essentially it was buffalo wings and honey barbecue wings, but just in leg form. And that's all I did as far as meat the next day. I think I paired it with some additional vegetables or some fries or something like that. You guys know I told you at the beginning that mom wasn't helping me cook this weekend with the pregnancy and things. I just get over things very, very easily. But that was what was for dinner for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel and follow me on my Instagram at Shay's Country Kitchen. Until the next time, see you guys soon. Bye-bye.